Now I have the honor and the pleasure to invite here Ricardo, who is doing, actually his company name is ColorElephant. And I want to see how colorful he is going to be here. Please welcome on stage Mr. Sousa. Thank you so much for joining. Our first keynote, and I'm sure that you're going to rock the stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Have a good morning. Thanks for being here, and also thanks to the team for putting it together. I've organized the conference for some years, and I know the challenges and the work that is involved in putting up an event such as this. And so I'm here today to open up the morning while you are all still falling asleep with a very boring theme for some of you, which is customer service and customer satisfaction. But I'm here to talk about that because throughout the years, and as we've been working with more and more clients, we realize that customer service and the way you treat customers and the experience you provide to them is really key to the success of your business, be it totally digital or a mixture between digital and physical, as most businesses are right now. And so the first question that we ask ourselves is, how do you sell anything? And I mean really anything, from smartphones to a grocery store that sells all those kinds of traditional products. And you can sell either by the price, right? So that's a very common technique, and one that, for instance, in the telecom industry, it's the main one, sort of say. So you put the price down, and your competition puts the price down, and you are in some sort of price war. But the problem with playing only by the price is that everyone is doing it, right? And as you lower the price, you're also tendentially lowering the quality, because if you're having lower margins, you cannot do as much of a good job as you did before. So the second part is, of course, quality. And quality is something we're all very proud of. So basically, what I want to say with this is that we sort of all have quality, or we try to have quality, and quality is no longer the differentiator factor between one business or the other in except for very specific cases. So I think that the last thing where you can differentiate yourself among competition is through service, and that's what we've been working on for the past couple of years in trying to understand how you can improve that service. And for us, we come to the conclusion that customer service, caring about your customer and providing the customer with a good experience, is all about a very narrow couple of things, right? Customer service is about caring, is about making different from your competition, is about responding when your competition is not, is about being human, and that's a very important thing, and it's about an experience. And that experience is probably one of the most important things, because we usually tend to think of customer service as the service we send in the end, or as the phone support we have for our business. But actually, the customer experience, the customer feeling about your company starts way early when they are deciding if they are gonna buy you a product or not. And so a recent stat shows that 39% of people will avoid you for 2 or more years after having a bad experience with you, right? But what I'm saying is not price and quality doesn't matter. Of course, price and quality matters, and of course, price and quality are driving factors for the way in which you can differentiate yourself in the market. All I'm saying is that customers and the way you treat them are, of course, very important. But you all know that, and you will tell me, yeah, Ricardo, but no worries, customers, they come and they go. And let me stop you right there, because the problem is customers, sometimes they go and they might not come back. And that is the cost that most businesses are not paying very close attention to. So most of the KPIs in the companies we've been working with, and we've been working with small and large companies, are customer acquisition. How much does it cost us to get a new customer? And then we start to really make them talk a lot more and think a lot more about the customer retention part, which for us is more important. So after you get a customer, how much does it cost for you to keep that customer paying? And for instance, for subscription-based businesses, this is, of course, critical. So what can I do? I mean, what can I do to improve my customer experience and to make customers love me back? Let me start by being very honest and saying that with the companies we've been working with, we've seen that this is really hard. And when I mean hard, I mean really, really hard, because every business is different and every business has very specific things that set it apart from the other business. And you have to understand your business very well and your customer very well to do a good job at it. And actually, technology is doing it harder, because now we all have mobile phones in the pocket, right? I'm on a stage and I have a mobile phone in my pocket. And the fact that I have a mobile phone here or a computer back at the hotel means that I can instantly share information. I can instantly compare your business with your competition and see which one I want to choose, something that was, of course, not available a few years ago. So we're entering this age of Insta-service. It's automatic. You have all those things coming up, and they are that you always have to be on. That's the customer's demanding for it. You always have to be right. You cannot do one of those Facebook silly mistakes where you don't reply correctly and have all those PR nightmares that we've been seeing, and you have to be fast in replying. And I would add another one, which is you always have to be human. And that's difficult because you're interacting with a machine, and your customer is interacting with a machine. But actually, the expectation about the relationship is that you both are human, and you should treat yourselves like that. And if you are still wondering if what I'm saying is just not a couple of basic things and things you already know, actually, you should think about the next generation that is coming. And that next generation, they are on mobile phones, they are on computers, and they are much more likely less to give you a call if you have a problem in your business than they were a few years back. So the first thing is really to understand the new ways for consumers to interact with brands and the new expectations and the new models. And when you do so, you start to understand that my feedback right now, it goes to potential customers of yours, it goes to review sites, it goes to the friends of mine, and also to my friends of my friends. And usually, if you are not receiving enough information, if you're not listening enough, it will not come to you. So I was told it is not usually a good idea to call the people I'm talking to stupid, but I'm going to try it anyway. And so my very first advice is keep it simple, stop it. And of course, that's something that we've been using in software for quite some time with the whole lean methodology and stuff. But it is also applicable to customer service and the quality of your service with a customer. Because the first thing you have to do is one very basic thing that businesses are not used to do, and I speak for myself, which is listen. We're used to talk, and we expect that by talking more, we get more customers and more revenue. But actually, it is quite the other way around. So if we stop talking and we start listening to what is the feedback from the users and what is the feedback from our clients and the ones that didn't came to be because of something, we are learning much more. So you need to be on the right platforms. If you are a hotel, you need to be on TripAdvisor, you need to be on Facebook, because those are the main platforms where the interactions with your clients are happening. You need to provide easy access to support. So imagine I have a problem now with my carrier, and I'm trying to go to their website and finding the contact in which I can try and solve that problem. If I spend 10 minutes in the web page trying to find where the hell is the contact link or where the hell is the contact number, I can guarantee you that when I get to speak with your operator on the phone, I will be much more angry at you and at your customer service. And then inside Facebook, acknowledge and prepare for getting feedback. There's this idea that business should be afraid because on Facebook they can say bad things about us. And that's true. But the fact is that it has always been like that. If you have a store, people can go there, they can have an experience, and they can complain. The difference here is that other people will see that. But if you are prepared for the fact that they might go there, then you're much more likely to be able to control that situation. And then always say yes, even if it is a yes, we will try. And then listen, but also ask, but also act. So, and the next thing is, ask for the right feedback. We've been working a lot with hotels, and what we see is you have a very general survey that goes out at the end, right? And sometimes it asks, hey, how was your experience at the bar? and actually the customer has never been to the bar. But because you have a CRM or because you have a PMS system in your business, you know that the customer has not been there. So you should tailor what you ask them to what you want to learn and what you want to hear back. Because what you will be surprised about is the amount of things that you can actually learn if you ask the right questions and provide users with the right context for that question. And then there's this saying, which is customer service starts with a question. That is bullshit, right? Customer service doesn't start with a question. Customer service starts with a customer or a potential customer. So you shouldn't expect the customer to ask a question to start doing customer service. As the moment you have a potential customer in front of you or a customer already, that's where the customer service starts. And so you need to be proactive. And when I say proactive, people always say the same thing. You want us to predict what users are going to do, so you want us to use a crystal ball. And that's not the case. What I meant by predicting what the user wants is using the next available tech resources to do so. And it's changing your mentality from what do I do now? Now that the customer is complaining, what do I do? To what can I do next to prevent that the customer is actually complaining? And so that is mapping and looking out for past habits of the client. It is profiling clients with their online self, and there are a variety of tools that provide you with that so you know more about your customer. When you are interacting with your customer, be it online or in the physical space, as much questions as you can, because that gives you a context and that gives you more information about your client. Know the basics of who you are serving. You need to know which are the people that you are providing a service or a product to. And then you need to reply and engage with customers, even on social networks that you're not present on. So let's say your business decided not to go on Facebook. You should anyway monitor Facebook and see what is being said about your company. And here's a good example of a hotel manager will reply to a customer, and here's a bad one because basically the reply is, we don't give a fuck about you, which should never be the reply. But don't wait for them to complain. As I was saying, and I don't want to go back to that, it's not a crystal ball, it's just using as much data as you can, and now we have more and more data to predict the user behavior. And then it's preparing for mobile first. And I don't like to use mobile first because it is actually mobile. You don't need to prepare to it first or second. You just need to prepare for it. And when you do so, this means that the whole customer experience from buying the product to actually being served after, it needs to be tailored to an experience on mobile, as, of course, most of the people are using right now. The second thing is, of course, be quick, be present, be there. And usually when people talk about social media, they say, hey, just be on Facebook all the time you can. I'm not a big advocate of that. I think you should clearly state when you are on Facebook, make it very clear for the fans, so you're there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and make sure that people know that, so that their expectations are aligned with the service that you can or cannot provide. And then whatever you can, please automate. So data extraction, surveys, profiling, prediction, triggered email communication, all of that can be automated, but please keep in mind that you need to have a human oversight on it to make sure the communication is authentic and is human. But so in general, it makes sense. You need to try to respond with this technical evolution with technical stuff that will make sure that your workload is still balanced. And so the hard thing about customer service is that it is a mixture between all of that. So you need to have a product and a purchase process that actually works. And then you have to make this full circle between matching traditional channels with new channels, matching every interaction of your client with every piece of data that you have. And then when you bring those all together, you have a better picture of who your customer is and how you can satisfy him. And the difficulty here is that you have to be consistent and you have to be complete. Otherwise, the customer experience will fall in one of these points here. So either it fails on the traditional channel or it fails in the new channel. And so manage the efforts. Make sure you're providing, even if you cannot provide a 5-star service, it's better to provide a 4-star service across the board in all your interactions with the customer than a 5-star in one end and then to start in the other. And then have the right CRM. We have always this discussion because we enter a company and we ask, hey, what is your CRM? And they come to us and they say, hey, here's it, and here's how we are using it. And always people use CRMs for sales only. So when you think CRM, you're thinking sales. And actually, the damn freaking word there is not sales, it's relationship, right? A CRM should be built to manage your relationship with your client, not the sales. The sales is a byproduct of that relationship. And so this looks like a 4-year-old drawing, but it's actually your client is in the center of everything. You have service, you have the CRM. The CRM and the service should be very well connected to make sure the services are provided with context. When you get the survey details, you go back to the CRM and you send information. The CRM should be connected to your mailing tool to make sure the mails have context. And we always advise that to our clients, and I'm running out of time, but I will keep going. We always advise that to our clients, link your CRM to social networks. And they always go freaky on that because they don't want their customers, which are potentially having bad feedback here, to send it to social networks. But the advantage is that you can actually create a link with that because then you know what the review is, what is the survey, which has more information, and then what is the client, what are the habits of the clients, and everything else. But I'm finishing off. Online or offline, it is the small things that matter. So you all have heard these beautiful stories where businesses make the front pages because of very good deeds that they do. We have here a few examples. But the thing is, take the small opportunities. Whenever you see a small opportunity to really please the guests and provide a great experience, please do it because that's where it is going to set you apart from the others. And so define your consumer satisfaction strategy. And when you do so, you need to realize that it starts with you, the leader, be it the team leader or the company leader, but actually it is not only about you, it is about everyone involved in your organization, and that is what makes it so hard. You need to train your people. And now I'm going to be repetitive in this point because I think it is so important. You need to learn and train, learn and train, learn and train. That's all you have to do. You have to learn from your mistakes, you have to learn from what the customers are saying, and you have to train yourself. You have to adapt, and you have to adjust what you're doing with what the customer is saying and what the customer is experiencing. And so if you match this data and this analytics with what you feel is right, because that's also very important, you have the recipe for customer happiness and eventually better results. And now I saved the best for last. It is the super secret for customer satisfaction, okay? This is what we've been telling businesses we work with for quite some time now, and it works. It is one of those things that shows results immediately, and that is being human, okay? One of the problems we face every time is that businesses are wired around numbers and around goals, and they don't treat people like they like to be treated. And so if you treat your customers the way you like to be treated, if you treat your customers as persons, as friends, if you treat them in that way and you can build up an organization that actually does that across the board from the VP to actually the guy who cleans the bathroom, you can create a human experience around your customer that will please him and make him very, very happy. Thank you very much, guys, and enjoy Webit.